Welcome back to Ask Anna. It is me, Anna. Reaper is right here. Today I'm going to talk to you about why it is dangerous to be the prettiest girl in your friend group. And it's not just about being the prettiest. If you are pretty, also have direction, and are mostly independent, and you've built a lot for yourself, if you're just pretty and you haven't really done anything with your life, then it's probably not going to apply. This is happening to a friend of mine right now, and I've been in a situation before where I had to move out, and I had like 3 roommates, and it was just not a good time. But I wanted to talk about this because it's just scary. I have a friend going through this, and she also has 3 roommates, and they told her that they want her to move out now, so she's trying to figure out what she's going to do, what place she's going to go to. This happened to me a year ago when I first moved to Atlanta. I did like a random roommate thing, and I moved in with 3 other girls. I was the only white one, everybody else was black, and I was actively pursuing the singing, and I had already graduated from college. They were still in college, but I graduated early too. We were all around the same age. I just had done everything sooner. And it just ended up being very volatile. It was very racist towards me, super not respectful at all. Like, time they'd have strangers over all the time. The walls are really thin, so I couldn't hear anything. The last straw was when they had invited like 15 people over. One girl told me it was going to be a girls' night, and they invited like 15 people over on a Friday. The cops ended up like getting called, and because there was just so many people going like in and out, they had all this alcohol around, and a couple of like 2 of my roommates I think were underage. Another one was 22, which was the age that I was at that time. But yeah, just a bunch of underage people drinking, and I had to work at like 8 a.m. the next morning. And after that, I requested a room change, and and this is a crazy story. One of the girls, I think she actually had a crush on me, the one that was 22, so that was weird. And she also like didn't have a job, was trying to get a job, was just relying on her family's money. The other 2, I don't really know what was going on with them. But yeah, super directionless. None of them were that pretty. One of them was kind of pretty, but then the guy that liked her was also attracted to me, so then that was an issue. But after that night when the cops had come and then threatened like evictions and stuff, I opened my door. It was 15 people facing like the front door. 2 cops were standing in the front door, and I knew the cop and I was friends with him. And I had like opened my door and I was like, y'all brought the cops here? And then I saw my friend who was the cop, and I was like, hey, his name. And then everybody turned around, looked at me so surprised, and then people were telling me to go back to my room. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was obviously that I wasn't involved with that, and I was trying to not be in it. But yeah, I requested a room change the next day, and then that whole week I was so silent. Like, I barely ate in the kitchen. Like, I just was in and out the whole time, and I would walk in and they would all be like sitting in their living room. I knew they were talking about me most of the time, and I was working like a full-time job too. I did not have time for the drama. And then I find out from the cop who was my friend that that girl, the 22-year-old, had told him, and she had her mom on FaceTime, which was the same person that was paying for her bills because she wasn't working. They told him that they were worried about me, that they hadn't seen me for a while, and that I had been ignoring them, and they thought that I was depressed, and they told them that I had a gun, and they thought I was going to shoot myself, and that they were worried for themselves too, which was a complete lie. And I do have a gun, and it's in my name, it's registered to me, and the cop knew about that long before they said anything about that. Like, that cop and I were really tight. Like, we still are. I still text him. But yeah, that's what happened, and I moved to another room. There was another girl too in my building who went through a similar situation, and it was the same shit. Like, I think they actually locked her out of the apartment. But yeah, she was beautiful. Same thing happened to her. My friend now, she's also beautiful, and she's a different race than the friends that she's living with. and she's gorgeous. But yeah, they're doing the same shit to her. So being beautiful, it's great, but you just have to be really, really careful, especially with the people that you're around. Like, I had to block them on all my social media. I couldn't have them looking at my stories. Like, initially we had all started out friends and it was okay. Like, the apartment I lived in before when I moved to Atlanta, it was very diverse. One of my roommates was black, another one was Indian, another one was Spanish. I still talk to like 2 of the 3 people regularly. One of them is my best friend. I talked to her last night, and they're all beautiful. Like, we are all beautiful in our own ways, and each of us has something going on for ourselves. So there was not like this jealousy that formed by looking at somebody else and what they had going on, because we were all too busy looking at our own stuff. So yeah, you never want to be the prettiest girl in your friend group, and if you are the prettiest girl in your friend group, you need to make sure that everybody around you has something else going on for themselves and that they're focused on it. Otherwise, you can end up homeless. Yeah, so that is today's little Ask Anna. I know I said I was going to go more the entertainment route, but it's a very real experience and I think it'll help other people. Okay, Reaper says it's time to go. Bye.